TikTok made me DIY a neon sign. So a friend of mine saw a TikTok of somebody making a DIY neon sign and asked if I could make one with a quote that they like, and I love a challenge, so I said absolutely. So I started out with a piece of wood cut to the size that I wanted, and then we stained it twice, 2 layers of Early American by Varathane, and then went in with Flat Out Flat by General Finishes for a top coat and used my zebra flat brush. Once the base was finished, my friend let me use her Cricut machine, so basically started out just figuring out where I wanted the lettering to go to make sure it would all fit. And then we used the Canva Creative Studio to create a stencil, essentially, of the quote that we wanted. Then we had the machine cut the stencil out with vinyl. It doesn't matter what color vinyl because you're only going to be using the outside of it because it's a stencil rather than using the inside, which you would normally do. But you could make a normal sign with the inside parts because it would still make the words, you know what I'm saying? So avoid waste. Make 2. So then I got some transfer tape and put that over the vinyl, and then just making sure that it was very stuck on there as I pulled off the backing. And what you want to really look out for is the insides of letters like the O's, the E's that have those little pieces that aren't attached to other things. You kind of make sure that they stay on there because they have a tendency to want to come off with the backing. So then just make sure it's lined up well and then place it on wherever you want it on this sign. And you want to make sure that you get out as many air bubbles as possible. So I'm just using an old like credit card or gift card to do that. And then the best way to pull the transfer tape off is to kind of like roll it back like this. And again, keep an eye on those little pieces because they may want to come up if they haven't been pressed on firmly enough. I've also heard a hack to make sure that the letters are super crisp to put a layer of top coat, like polyurethane, over it at this point in time, like over the stencil. I did not do that, but it might work. I had a little bit of bleed through with the letters, but not that much. So I went in with multiple coats of paint. I used Picket Fence by Fusion Mineral Paint, a really bright white. And then for the last layer, I did a chalk paint just because I ran out. But I used a dabber for stencils. I don't know what it's officially called, but it basically is like a little foam dabber on the end. And you just dab instead of swiping so that the letters will be crisp. Then off of Amazon, I got a neon rope light. I ended up using 2 of them because it wasn't quite long enough, the one that I got. If you want to see the ones that I used, I do have them linked to my Amazon storefront under Home Essentials. And what I did here was go through and drill some holes into the top and bottom of the letters wherever it needed to come up and down and out through the board, if that makes sense. You're basically just trying to weave it, and then I glued with hot glue in between each of the holes to secure it down. I did try using E6000 at first, and it did not hold. The hot glue seemed to be the thing that worked best for me. There might be a better alternative, but I'm just going through and gluing it down, and then we are left with the final product. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, have the day you deserve, and make sure to follow for more.